Hey, what's up, witches? Luna here with another unboxing. And I apologize that I look like I'm sitting in a tomb, but the fact is my window's right here, and it is snow-covered and sunny out there. So it is so glaringly bright that unless I turn the exposure down on my camera, you're going to be looking at a white blob. So I'm actually sitting in a bright room. Anyhow, the deck that we're looking at today is the Rose Oracle. This is a Hay House deck by Rebecca Campbell, and artwork is by Katie Louise. You may recognize the box style from the Starseed Oracle. That's what it's called, right? Another beautiful, beautiful oracle. 44-card deck and guidebook. Rebecca Campbell is a writer, poet, mystic, artist, ritualist, and mother. She's been studying the mystic arts since she was a child and consciously working with the rose since 2010. Katie Louise is an intuitive spiritual artist whose visions of the cosmos celebrate all that's pure and beautiful in our universe. She draws inspiration from the magic that surrounds us daily. And there's RebeccaCampbell.me, and sheisluminous.com for Katie Louise. The rose is a symbol of goddesses of old, and she holds potent medicine for these times. This oracle creates space for you to connect with her energy, wisdom, and breathtaking beauty. May her healing mysteries call you home to your true nature. This sells for $26.99 in the US, $36 in Canada, and I got it on a Hay House sale. Every time I say, you know, I'm really slowing down, I really don't want to buy decks, Hay House has a sale that I can't pass up. So here's the interesting part of this box, and the same thing with the Starseed Oracle. The top is made so you can put it like this and prop a card on it. I have to admit I've never done that, but it is unique and interesting, and now we have two decks that match each other. I mean, look, it's just very pleasing to look at. A lovely box. And on the inside, ooh, it says, plant yourself here. Yes, both of them. Lovely. Oh, all right, we'll set that aside and look at the book. So the guidebook is chunky. Same thing as on the box, on the back of the book. I realize I never look at the back of books. This is, Starseed and Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And she has audiobooks and online courses. This is copyright, wow, 2022. So this is interesting. We have printed in the UK by Hay House, published in the US by Hay House, published in Australia by Hay House Australia, and there's a Hay House India publisher. Awesome. So we have acknowledgements. Then this section is called The Rose, the Ancient Mysteries of the Rose. The Call of the Rose, we are nature, the ancient roots of the rose, and a healer for these changing times. Then the Oracle, working with the Rose Oracle. About the Rose Oracle attunement, reading the cards, using the box as a portable altar, the Rose Oracle card spreads, and then we have the cards that are listed in alphabetical order. Messages and interpretations. Then at the end, we have Going Deeper, bibliography about the creator, about the artist. Well, we already read about those. I'm going to check this Going Deeper thing. You've got me curious. If you'd like to go deeper with Rebecca's work, there are several ways to do so. The Rose Oracle website, so it's theroseoracle.com. To deepen your connection with the cards, receive the Rose Oracle attunement and playlist, and connect with Mother Rose and explore flower work and other ways to weave the soul back into everyday life. Visit theroseoracle.com and RebeccaCampbell.me/readings. Each month I do a small number of personalized hand-selected readings. Find out more there. There's a You Are the Oracle course, and that's RebeccaCampbell.me/oracle. And then just her other decks and courses are listed. Okay, then there's a bibliography. All right, let's get past the acknowledgments. Mother Rose has been whispering to me for many years. Hold on. She guided me to create this oracle as a way to lift the veil of the ancient rose mysteries and reconnect you with the sacred energy of the rose, who I believe is a potent healer for these times. So she's talking about her personal journey here. And gifting yourself with roses, drinking rose petal tea, creating with the roses, returning to the garden, the medicine of the rose. We are nature. Returning to the garden, the ancient roots of the rose. Let's see. The rose is an ancient flower with roots far deeper than those of humanity. They reach back more than 35 million years with the fossilized remains of rose leaves and petals having been found in Asia, Europe, and North America. While today there are countless types of roses, they all fit into three main groups. The first is species roses, commonly referred to as wild roses. These are the oldest types, stemming from Rosa gallica. Species roses bloom once and have between 4 and 8 petals. The second group is old garden roses. These are ones that existed before 1867, when the first hybrid tea rose was introduced. Examples of old garden roses are Alba, Ayrshire, Bourbon, Boursault, Centifolia, and China. The third group is modern hybrid roses. Okay, the rose and the goddess. The rose is the mystical queen of all flowers, from Ishtar to Isis, Aphrodite to Venus, Inanna to Mother Mary. The further back we trace the rose's thread, the more often we see this flower appearing as a symbol of goddesses in many of the world's traditions. And often these goddesses bear a striking resemblance to one another. Go figure. Some were worshipped in secret and others were absorbed and renamed. In many cases, the scent of the rose is one of the numerous sacred symbols in art and story that threads them together. I was going to say this, that if you look at stories like the Miracle of Fatima or the Miracle of Lourdes, when Bernadette Soubirous, anyone that has had visions of the Virgin Mary, frequently there's a scent of roses that kind of announces her arrival. The rose in myth and legend. Let's see. So she really does go in the rose in hidden Celtic goddess worship, a symbol of mystery and secrecy. Sacred and mystical associations of the rose, so you get a lot of information here. A healer for these changing times. All right, I believe that this ancient flower, which is growing significantly in popularity, has very important messages for the hearts of humankind right now. I believe she carries powerful, much yearned for medicine and the potential for healing that is so needed in these times. At this moment in time, when it's so clear that humanity has, to a great degree, lost its way, and there's so much division and trauma arising to be healed, it makes sense to me that the rose, cloaked in so much ancient mystery and sacredness, seems to be reaching out to us, or we're reaching out to her. Absolutely. Ancient rose wisdom. Then we go to the oracle, working with it. About the oracle, there's lots of information. Okay, Katie, Louise, and I have endeavored to make this an oracle for all people. We hope that you feel welcome here in these pages and cards. We have deep respect for all devotional paths and the human right to choose. All right. Connecting with the Rose Oracle. And then we have a prayer to Mother Rose and the Rose Oracle attunement. Thank you for answering the call of the rose. Within your oracle, you'll find an extra 45th card. This is the Rose Oracle Attunement Altar card. When you're working with a new oracle, I recommend doing a ritual to connect with it more deeply. There are many ways to do this, so trust how you're led. If you'd like to, you can use the Rose Oracle Attunement Altar card to ritually connect with this oracle and the rose each time you use the oracle. If you'd like to connect more deeply with your oracle and Mother Rose, I've also recorded a ritual version of the Rose Oracle Attunement, which you're welcome to play for free at theroseoracle.com. I want to interject here. I went to her site, to the Rose Oracle site, to look for the recorded Oracle Attunement. It is not easy to find. Go to her site from the home page, click Shop. From there, click Oracles. From there, click Find Out More on the Rose Oracle picture. And then scroll and scroll and scroll past the pink bar that shows all the places you can purchase it. And when you get below that, you will see the Rose Oracle Attunement that you can download. And there's also the Spotify list. Good luck and happy hunting. I think, so the attunement is printed out here. And I have to say, white print. Can you see that? Yeah. White print on very pale rose-colored pages is not easy to read. I wish that, I mean, I understand design, but I wish that people would more thoroughly consider who's reading it and the purpose of things before you go, with pure design choices. So, when we get into the cards, we have reading the cards, how to read the cards. Step 1, open soul space, use it as a gateway, shuffle and connect, divide and spread, select your cards, let the cards speak to you. If you're familiar with my work, you'll know I'm a deep believer in turning our whispers and guidance into grounded action. At the end of each card interpretation, you'll find prompts to help you do this. There's a soul inquiry, TM. Oh my God. These prompts allow the whispers of your soul to be heard, voiced, and known. Voice them out loud, meditate on them, or journal on them intuitively. So soul inquiry, and we had to trademark that. And then we have rose transmission. These prompts ignite the healing energy and wisdom codes of the rose. There's no sound current more powerful than your own voice. So for each rose transmission, hold the card to your heart and read the words out loud or in a whisper. I recommend repeating each transmission 3 times. Using the box as portable altar. How does she show it here? Let's see. Okay, that doesn't really make sense. The triangular base of the box with the card deck nestled inside can be used as a piece of altar art. The Rose Oracle card spreads. And then Mother Rose, 1 card spread. The Rose Garden is 2 cards. Sub Rosa is 4 cards. And you're using the lid there to lay things out, which, really, sorry, I'm being grumpy. Trust the Seasons is a 4-card spread. Rosebud Thorn Seed Root is a 5 card. And then we have the cards. And for each one, there is a small image, black and white, with a little bit of that kind of tan color. Then we have keywords. We have 3 paragraphs here. And then we have soul inquiry. What are you ready to release? But we don't have both of those things. It's either soul inquiry or a rose transmission. You don't have both of them. All right, let's get to the deck. I guess you can, to be not grumpy about it, you can say they've gone the extra mile here. We have a paper band that says unlock the sacred mysteries of the rose. I mean, it's lovely, but unnecessary, really. I'm just going to tear it off and throw it away. So, all right, I want to look at the Rose Oracle attunement. So here's the attunement itself, but on this side it says, on the back of this card, you will find the Rose Oracle Attunement Altar card. You can use the attunement to ritually connect with your Oracle and Mother Rose each time you use it. You can find a free visual, blah, blah, blah. Again, is that necessary? Like, you're looking at this going, what is this card? I don't know. I mean, it's... All right. So there's just a lot of fluff, is what I would call it. But let's go to the cards themselves. Look at the back. It's beautiful, as one would expect something about roses to be. Interestingly, I don't think it's translating, and I've got my lights up as high as they go. No, I don't. I lied. But when I put it up all the way, I don't think it makes it any better. Yes, it does. See, look at these little dots and things that are white, and they look so sparkly. That's the magic of artists. They amaze me how they can bring light out of a piece of cardboard. Okay, here we go. We have after the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over. Acceptance. Look at this image. It's just luminous. We have a woman standing. I mean, the light coming off of this is something else. We got the Jesus rays coming down, a rainbow. So after the rain, the image really is a beautiful depiction of that statement. I'm seeing an upward pointing triangle at the top, and it seems that that's on every single card. So I'm not really sure what that triangle is for. Just a little, visual element, I guess. And I like, the same as in the starseed, there's a range of meanings that are right on the card. So this deck is accessible and usable without ever picking up the book, and that is very much appreciated. The Anointed, Answer the Call, Leadership, Empowerment, Soul Gifts. Subtle, very subtle artwork. The Bloom, Creations Realized, Right Time, Harvest, Celebrate. I did a little bit of faffing around to see if I could make these clearer, but you really are seeing what I'm seeing. The images are very subtle. They look like photos that are a bit overexposed because they're light, they're bright. They're looking a little dull because I've just the way the cameras are, but okay. Onward, that there are no numbers on them, but they're in alphabetical order in the book, so that's not an issue either. The Breathing Rose, Heart Healing, Emotions, Connection, Time Eases. Brothers of the Rose, oh, I'm so glad. Sacred Masculine, Honor, Protection, Support. With a beautiful pregnant woman. The Bud, Potential, Promise, it's about to happen. Keep going. The Child Within, Inner Mother, Innocence, Gentleness, Tenderness. Codes of the Seeds, the blueprint is within you, take the next step. Now, you know, one of the things about cards that have a lot of keywords listed is it really takes you away from the image itself. But I mean, looking at this image, Codes of the Seeds, you can see this shape that's sort of seed-like and someone curled up in that space. But you do need the keywords to tell you exactly what it's depicting. Come to me, attracting like a rose, receive, abundance, desires. The Crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. The Crowning, so we have a lot of birthing imagery and keywords. So when, if you don't know, when a baby is born, when the head finally starts to emerge like this, they call it crowning. So thresholds, yeah. The Fertile Void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. So you can't see the images just as well as I can. The Grandmothers, remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. Look at these beautiful faces. I love seeing true age on women shown. The Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. I'm glad that this is translating. Things are more purple to me than they're looking on camera, but you can see the subtlety of the image. And I love that fall into her arms. Yes, I do. Come. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. Healing the mother line. Healing, ancestral work, mother line, growing up. Yeah, you know, healing the mother line is for so long now, lineage has been traced through the male when that's, you know, now we can have DNA tests, but back then it was the woman's word for it, right? And sometimes even she wasn't sure. But healing that undeniable lineage through the mother line. Held, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. The Holy Grail. This is like the clearest image I've seen so far, the highest contrast. Stop the endless searching. Inner quest. Wow. hawk and the deer. Lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, here for this, soul call, gather. Morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. They are so soft that they're making me feel soft. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion, humanity. The Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. There's kind of, humanity for both of these, Mother Rose and the Mystic Rose. So we do have some crossover with the keywords. Open. Say yes. Expand through the extremes. Trust life. Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, grounded action. Rapture. Sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. So these are, you can't really see what this image is, and I doubt that, it will. Still, it's not quite as clear. Release the petals. Transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. The return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. The reunion, soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. And I will mention, though you can see for yourself, that there is racial diversity in this deck. The Rose Garden, innocence, forgiveness, be gentle with yourself. The Rose of Venus. I will also say, which I haven't yet, that these look to be collage. There's certainly images of people or photographs, and they are really expertly woven together into these soft, soft images. The Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. The Rose Thread, inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. Rose without thorns, you have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. The Sacred Union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. The Sacred Waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. The Second Bloom, a second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. Interesting, because with climate change, a lot of people are noticing things blooming for a second time in the fall. Around here, I had somebody, it was actually in December, that posted a picture of a dandelion blooming in her yard. And we're in Northeast Ohio, so we're not in warm places by any stretch. And crocuses, too, people talking about their bulbs blooming twice. Sophia, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, destiny. Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. Sub Rosa, under the roses. The Sun, joy, oh, look at that. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, play. Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. The Thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. Trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, growth. Good grief. The Wastelands, sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. You see things like this cracked earth here and somebody just bending to the ground. Look at these beautiful faces on each side. We are nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. The wild rose, do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. So as beautiful as the images are, they aren't really broadly descriptive and different from one another. So you see, you know, people just kind of tranced out and dreaming, and, you know, beautiful roses and stuff around them. But like this, trust the seasons. There's really nothing in the image that will indicate seasons to me. And thorn, yes, we do see thorns here. Like the Temple of the Rose, I mean, the sun looks very sunny. But again, we're not getting very descriptive images. And that's not really a problem because of the extensive keywords on the cards. So I'm not going to fuss. Although I already have, sorry. Let's give this a blessing. Wait, I don't want to use the lighter. I'll get my fun matches. All right. I find myself not very chatty lately. How about you? Anybody else notice that? For one thing, I've been doing a lot of meditation and working to really quiet things down. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. And I think it's working. My mind is getting more quiet. My tension is decreasing, which is really something because tension is my superpower. And just because it's a superpower doesn't mean it's for good. Okay, by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. I wish I had... Wait. Da, 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 da. I found a little bottle of Arabian Rose perfume. But first, let's do the bell. By the sound of the bell. Whoops. Let's get the earbuds out of the way. May the spirit of the rose awaken. You hear my husband talking to the cats. And them talking back. I'm only putting a very small dot on my finger because rose is one of those scents. It's incredibly strong, and I'm sure I'm going to have to go wash my hands when I'm done with this. Oh. So we anoint with that. And now, guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Gods and goddesses. All of the goddesses that are connected with the rose. I don't know if you can hear Gilbert. He's downstairs singing with his burb. All right. I offer gratitude to my guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, and to the author and artist of this deck. And I thank you for being here with me, and I offer you fresh water and the fire of Azrael. That one got a heavy hit. That the spirit of divination may be alive within you. Okay, now, it's Hay House cardstock. It's not a massive deck, so I can hold it in my hands like this, but whether it will riffle very well, I doubt it, because the cardstock is just thick. Let's see. I mean, so thick that one card can make the difference. Okay. No, I mean, not too bad. It's okay. It's doable. It's doable. It's possible. Let's do that a couple more times, shall we? I'm going to cut in between. So let's start tuning in now to the message. what message do you have for us today, oh Mother Rose? And all of the goddesses that are connected with this amazing and ancient flower, the scent of which is so very distinctive. There's no doubt when you're smelling a rose, you know. Some things like, I mean, jasmine is pretty distinctive, but even then, you know, maybe the difference between hyacinth and, what's the one that hangs down? Wisteria, lilac. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate those smells, but rose is a rose is a rose. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. And I want to split and pull. And we're gonna, let me look at the spreads again here. So we have Mother Rose. Oh, we're gonna read the prayer too. The Rose Garden, Sub Rosa. I'm surprised that there's no 3-card spread. So the seed is 2 cards, where you are, or the Rose Garden. Seed is where you are, future Rose Garden, the highest outcome. Sub Rosa, what's known, what's hidden, what's unfolding, the grounded action to take. But we don't have a 3-card spread, and we're talking about goddess stuff. That's surprising. So, you know, I'm not going to use one of these spreads. I'm just going to go 3 cards. How about that? Where the hell did that come from? Sorry, that was gross. Here is a prayer to Mother Rose. May we find the courage to walk the ever-unfolding way of the rose. May we reach our roots all the way back in order to bloom sustainably. May we open our heart front and back. May we soften our bodies and our minds. Funny how that deck was softening me through as I was looking. May we heal, may we heal, may we heal. May we return to ourselves, the earth, and each other. May we remember the future rose gardens seated within. May we fall wholly and completely back into her arms. And when the time comes, and we will know when, may we throw our petals to the wind for the chance to do it all over again. All right. So the attunement is here, and it's here. Much easier to read on the back of this, and I am going to read it. Mother Rose, you who were present long before we, and you who will continue after we're gone, bless this oracle and all who use it. May it be a gateway for all to return to ourselves, the earth, and each other. May our connection with the voice of our soul be made stronger with every use. May all who touch it feel cherished, held, loved, softened, and seen. May it deliver insight, understanding, compassion, and guidance that's in the highest interest of all beings, past, present, and future. When I'm holding space for another, help me to step out of the way and invite others to connect with the wisdom that exists deep within them. Guide me and all who use it to embrace our ever-changing true nature and the seasons of our lives with compassion, understanding, and grace. Show us how we can plant ourselves here more deeply than ever before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I have to say, as grumpy as I was about a couple of things, this deck is already successful, because reading those after I went through, and how it's talking about softening. May we soften, may we soften. And I said, you know, the images are so soft that just looking at them, I felt myself softening. So there you go. Success. All right, let's have 3. For what we need to know right now, where we are in our journey, how to be more effective human beings, how to be fully alive and engaged at this time in our lives and on this planet. What message do you have for us? I'm going to cut in between. You. Okay. So we have the Anointed, Answer the Call, Leadership, Empowerment, Soul Gifts. Then we have the mystic rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. And then after the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over, acceptance. So let's read. Just intuitively, the anointed answer the call says that, you have been selected. When you are anointed for something, you are prepared, you are made holy and worthy of that particular thing. And the mystic rose is about those subtle levels, giving yourself over. So there's a track. You're kind of anointed to enter into that mystical place. And what you find there is relief and hope and mercy and acceptance. All right. The anointed. Interesting, too, that even with all the cutting and the split and pull, I managed to pull the first two cards. That happened with another deck, too. Can't remember which one. The anointed answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. Rose oil, which I just anointed this deck with, has been used to anoint initiates through the ages. Royalty, too. This card is here to herald you into an even more powerful expression of what you came here to be and do. It's calling you to step forth into your inner queendom and kingdom, to answer the greatest call of your soul and face your true north. To seed even more of what you came here to share, to acknowledge your arrival as the initiate of your life, to shed the external noise that may have been stopping you from being all that you already are, to realize that you've been training for this for a long time, perhaps even lifetimes. The path your soul chose to walk is one that few have the courage to walk, and you came here for this. You're being led through this. Your soul is ancient, and with every step you've taken in every body you've been planted in, you've gathered a kaleidoscope of gifts that are ready to be shown and shared. You're being called to deeply trust the call that you've been hearing, to lead, to lead, to lead. The path you're here to pave has not been walked the way you'll walk it. And as with all ancient initiates, healers, visionaries, creatives, and leaders, you're just one magnificent thread in the tapestry of life. So go your own way, trust the road that beckons you forth, and always be led from within. And the soul inquiry, although we don't have the TM mark after it. How are you being called to step forward and lead? All right, the mystic rose. Compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. The rose was a symbol of the goddess of old, so it's no wonder that when Christianity absorbed large parts of the indigenous Celtic traditions in Europe, the mother goddess, Mother Mary, became associated with the rose. Perhaps the reason Mary is so beloved is because she was the only mother goddess who could be worshipped safely, and as such carries with her the devotion and yearning of all those who long to worship the goddess in a feminine form. Indeed. Mary's connection with the rose is seen in some of her titles, including Rosa Mystica, the mystic rose, and the rose without thorns, like Rosa Senaspina. Like those of the pagan goddesses before her, the processions that honored Mary involved walking on rose petals. The church altered the stories of goddesses past, including those that featured roses, such as Aphrodite turning the white rose red with her blood, putting Mary in the goddess's place. Churches were erected all over Europe and beyond, and in many cases on the site of Celtic temples and places of goddess worship. Mary had beautiful rose windows in the west. Many had beautiful rose windows in the west, the direction of the feminine in dedication to Mary, Mother of the Rose. This is a card of compassion, devotion, and grace. It encourages us to soften toward humanity and to endeavor to see the world and even those who have hurt us with understanding, an open heart, and deep humility. To see that we all carry hurt and are wounded. We have all experienced severing. Mother Mary is inviting you to open your heart to humanity when you most want to close. And the soul inquiry is, how are you being called to show compassion today? So leadership and compassion And then we have After the Rain. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy. It's over. Acceptance. There's something very special and sacred about the moment after it stops raining. The atmosphere has released all that it was holding, and in turn the earth has been cleansed, replenished, and nourished. It's a similar feeling to the moment after we stop crying. As those salty healing waters fall, they activate oxytocin and endorphins, which create a shift in how we feel. What was once overwhelming now seems possible, and while we may not know it consciously, noticeable growth will soon follow. After the Rain is all about hope, healing, beginnings, and endings. Emotions are soothed. Broken hearts are on the mend. Times of trial are over. Mercy can be felt. There's a moment of relief. A new, encouraging silver lining can now be made out in the distance. What's been challenging and difficult has or is about to ease up. If you've been going through a challenging time, this card is here to reassure you that things are about to ease. You've been through the worst of it, and now hope is here. May it be so. These past weeks, months, or even years haven't been straightforward. They've likely asked you to dig deep and endure hardships that have tested you. But now, at long last, there are smooth seas ahead. What you've learned and how you've grown can never be taken from you, and now it's time to enjoy the warmth of the blessings that life has in store for you. Glorious new beginnings are now possible, and the soul inquiry is, what are you ready to release? All right. So this is certainly a deck where you're going to pull cards and read for the message. It's not going to be, I don't think, a deck where you can say, tell me about what's going on in this relationship, you know. Heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. So again, we've got the same, healing messages. Even with I'm going to look at the Thorn one and see what it says, because it does seem like this entire deck, and appropriately, since it is all about the rose, is about softness and, heavenly fragrance and mysticism and compassion. And those are the qualities of the goddesses represented by the rose. So it does make sense for it to be kind of a single voice throughout the deck. The Thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. The rose is the queen of all flowers. Her soft and often fragrant bloom takes our breath away from near and far. A bridge between heaven and earth, she has the capacity to act as a portal to our true selves and call our soul more fully into our body. She leaves us in awe, allowing us to experience heaven on earth for a very precious moment. But the rose is not all gentle and soft. In fact, most roses are armored with spiky thorns and prickles of various shapes and sizes. These sharp protectors act like knights defending their queen, clearly setting the necessary boundary and conditions for her to do what she was born to do. We too are like the rose. So often we don't get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationships. When we're not clear on our needs, when we don't communicate them, when we don't take responsibility for them, it's impossible for others to give us what we need. This often results in a breakdown in the relationship. Well, there you go. Communicating our needs and establishing our boundaries allows not just us to feel safe, but those we're in a relationship with to feel safe too. This card delivers the message of the importance of clear communication, boundaries, and taking responsibility for our needs. To be clear with others, we must first be clear with ourselves and then communicate this to our loved ones and the world. And the soul inquiry is, what loving boundaries are you being called to establish? How are you being called to communicate clearly to those you're in a relationship with? So that is a little more specific, and I do want to look at Sub Rosa too. The rose, and the keywords are hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. The rose has been a symbol of secrecy for millennia. The ancient Romans wore rose garlands on special occasions, and when these were hung above important meeting places, the conversations that took place beneath were considered sub rosa, or under the rose. It was understood that things said under the rose would be kept secret and not repeated. There's also an image of the ancient Egyptian god Horus sitting with a rose and holding his finger to his lips, symbolizing silence about the deep mysteries. The phrase sub rosa may have its origins in ancient Greece, where in 477 BC, a secret negotiation took place in a building attached to the Temple of Minerva, seen on this card. Let me find her, which might take a while because they don't slide on each other. There she is. So this is Minerva. And now I got to find this again. Okay. On the building's roof was a rose garden, hence sub rosa. Another otherworldly theory of the phrase's origin is linked to Eros, who is said to have bribed Harpocrates, the Greek god of silence and secrecy, with a rose to persuade him to remain silent on the affairs of the gods. This card represents the great mysteries that are available for us to uncover and remember, secrets that are waiting to be found, teachings that your soul might be ready to learn. There are a lot of sentence fragments, and, you know, this is, of course, license, poetic license, but this is a full sentence. Secrets that are waiting to be found, teachings that your soul might be ready to learn. She does this. Look beyond what your eyes can see and dig a little deeper. You're here to uncover lost wisdom, ancient secrets, and deep mysteries. Are you being called to study the great mysteries, to live the great questions, and step into your role as a teacher, guide, or mystic? Are you being called to question things and unearth the truths unknown? Soul inquiry. What are you being called to study, learn more about, or unearth? Okay, so I would say, I mean, it is an absolutely beautiful deck. And if you vibe with Goddesses of the Rose in any way, shape, or form, even if you're a former Catholic, you know, I think you're gonna like this. And this is a deck that has a single purpose, you know, a specific purpose. When you need that comforting voice, when you need that soft hug, you know, this is the deck that you go for. This isn't a deck that you're going to go for when you're looking for the, you know, the big tough things. My life is falling apart. What the hell is wrong? You know, I don't think you're going to get that in this deck, because even the ones about thorns, there's just that really gentle touch to it. So tell me what you think. Do you have this? Between the two, I prefer the Starseed. It is much, it just is much more of my vibe. Being a Uranian person too, I have my Sun conjunct Uranus, and I've never quite felt at home on this planet. And that deck addresses that in me. And this one, wow, I mean, it feels very special. It really does. And this might be an excellent deck, like if you, speaking of being Catholic, raised Catholic, if you have friends and family members that are like, oh, you know, oracles and stuff, that's oogie boogie, that's a sin or whatever, this would be a very gentle invitation and introduction to the art of divination. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. I like to hear your comments, and I will answer every single one of them. So I'm going to go off and shoot some more unboxings. And until I see you next time, this is Luna. Blessed be.